Hello and welcome to Chef Carter's Cooking Corner. I just want to tell you before you keep watching, make sure you like and share this video. All right, it's my heart to help everyone I can, and you can help me with that by making sure to get the word out about my channel. So today I'm going to show you how to make 4 meals from 1 can of Spam. So the first one I'm just going to tell you about simply a Spam sandwich. And so I took half a can and I sliced it up and I sauteed the slices on both sides and put them on a piece of white bread. So it didn't look as pretty as the sandwich on the can of Spam, but you get the idea. So let's move on to the other recipes. I'm filming more about struggle meals, and right now what I'm doing is preparing some ramen noodles. You know what I'm talking about, right? People had this in college. Strangely enough, I never ate them in college. Alright, so this is what I'm talking about. So tonight I'm using the beef flavored ramen noodles. So 1 pack I already put in there of the beef flavor, and I left the other pack out for later use. Alright, so let me get what I'm going to put on top of my ramen noodles together. Alright, so if you watched any of my episodes before, you may have seen me packing these vegetables. So I'm going to be sauteing these vegetables in a hot skillet. So let me get a few out. So let me get a little bit of celery. Just a little bit. So I'm using well, this isn't really a utensil, but I'm using a cup to get them out, because the less you touch your food, the more or the less likely it'll be contaminated. Alright, so I'm going to roll this to get as much air out as possible before I reseal it. Okay. Alright. Making triple sure it's sealed. Alright. So then I have some bell peppers here. So I'll get some of those out. Just a few. Okay. So we're going to roll this baby up. Okay. Don't want it coming out. I think I want to skip the red onions and put these in there, the green onions. Alright, so I have some carrots here. I'm actually going to put the carrots in with the water so that they can get a little softer. And just a small handful. Alright, so I think that's enough for the vegetables. So I'm going to go get something else. Alright, so the star of tonight's meal, we have a container, and inside the container we have half a can of Spam. And I'm not even going to use all of it. I'm actually going to cut that in half. Alright, so that's about half right there. So we'll put some up and make this into another meal. And then we're going to cut this up into cubes. so I'm going to go ahead and put the Spam in here. And we're going to toss this around so it can brown just a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of move this to the side. They're still going to keep browning. And I'm going to add my bowl of vegetables. There are carrots. I'll break those up into smaller pieces. That's small enough. So I let the carrots cook in the broth first. Now I'm bringing them over here for the rest of the vegetables. Kind of breaking it up. There we go. And keep breaking it up. I need to turn this up a little higher. So I didn't add any grease to this, or I said grease. I didn't add any oil to this because Spam, it's not really that fatty, but it does have some fat in it. So I'm just going to use this fat of the Spam. So you can see the carrots aren't quite cooked through yet, but they are softer than they were. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and move this to medium-high and let it cook for a while. Alright, so I've drained my pasta, or my ramen noodles. I'm going to go ahead and add that beef packet. Mix that up. So I'm not going to add any salt into here because this packet is pretty salty. Spam is pretty salty, so it doesn't need any extra salt. Alright. So I don't want to break up my noodles too much. Alright, back to the vegetables that are sauteing. Move those around a bit. So I'm starting to get some good color. Alright, so it's time to plate this baby up. Alright, so I have my 2 bowls here. So let me go ahead and try to evenly distribute the noodles. All right, is that good? I think that's pretty close. So now it's time to take the vegetables, and I'm going to scoop them from the stove onto here. All right, how's that look? Not bad for a little leftover vegetable and leftover Spam. And a 10-cent pack, well, 20 cents worth of ramen. They cost about 10 cents a pack. All right, so to finish it off, I'm going to use a little Italian seasoning. Just kind of give it a little extra flavor. And actually, seasoning herbs like this actually have they add extra vitamins to your dish. Actually, it has flavor and vitamins. All right, so there we go. So not bad for some leftovers, huh? So try to eat one. You get a little bit of pasta, a little bit of meat and vegetables for your bite. Not bad. Hits the spot. All right, so it's breakfast time, and I got my Spam out again. And this time I'm going to be making Spam and eggs. So I know this is going to be real petty, but we're going to cut this little piece in half and save this for another meal. So the thing is, I'm going to be adding eggs, so we'll have plenty of protein. This is basically to flavor the eggs. All right, along with that, we'll go some peppers and some onion. All right, so I don't want to reach my hand into the bag. And it's not that my hands are not clean, but no matter how much you wash your hands, there still will be bacteria on them. So it's best to just kind of use a utensil. I think that's going to be enough onion for what I'm doing. So again, we want to push the air out of that and get some bell peppers. Just going to pour some out. Just a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to push the air out of these bags and I'll be right back. Alright, so let me go ahead and get started here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on my burner. I'm going to actually put my burner on low. Actually, medium low. And first thing I want to cut up is this piece of Spam. So I want to cut it into a small dice. Oop. Like that. And then that jelly, that's flavor, so make sure you keep that. Yep. Alright, let me move this over to the skillet. Oop. Alright, so now when you cut vegetables that are frozen like this, you are going to want to be careful. Like small pieces like this will thaw quicker, but just be aware that, you know, you want to see how hard that was. So I think that's chopped up pretty good. Alright, so I'm going to add that to the skillet. See, there's a little jelly left on there. Put that little jelly in the skillet. Now, I don't know how hard this is going to be. Okay. It actually cuts pretty easy. There we go. So let's put that in the skillet. Alright, so I'm going to cook this just a little bit until it gets a little color on it. And then I'm just kind of cutting pieces a little smaller as I cook it. So again, the Spam will flavor it. If you don't have Spam, you could use a little bit of ham or even a little bit of beef, you know, a couple pieces of bacon. So, it's up to you. Or if you're vegetarian, don't use any meat. Alright, so I have 3 eggs here, and I'm going to take Italian seasoning, or you could do poultry seasoning. I actually prefer the poultry seasoning with eggs, but my mom doesn't like sage on her eggs. You know, to each their own. So, let me go ahead. I'm going to pour a little bit of milk in here, trying to figure out how to work around the camera there. So, you know I'm doing a lot of talk about bacteria, but you know, right now, I think that's on everybody's mind. So, you know, I've been blessed with many experiences, which includes earning my ServSafe certification. So, let me go ahead and get this mixed up. I didn't put any salt in this because Spam has a lot of salt. And also we're going to put cheese on here, and cheese has a lot of salt in it naturally. Alright, so there we go. So let's get back to the skillet. Alright, so we're back at the skillet. I actually turned it off because it was getting a little too hot. I love cooking my eggs low, because when you cook your eggs slow and low, they tend to taste better to me. So, let me go ahead and Right. So to show y'all, I ain't playing. Whenever I cook biscuits, well, I've had 2 batches, but I'm going to start eating out of here. I've put them in the freezer in this plastic bag. So, either I'm going to have biscuits, or you can have tortillas with this. You could actually make a burrito out of it. So, if you really wanted it to stretch further, you could take this, what I consider a portion for two with the eggs and vegetables, and cook up some potatoes. You could probably get enough food for like 3 or 4 people with the addition of potatoes. So I will put a link up here at this point so you could see my video on that. And I mean, that's something that will fill you up for days. Alright, so here are my eggs. They're a little stuck because I had to take a phone call. So I had to kind of turn it off, but I'm going to turn this over. It's a little brown. So I'm going to turn it over to make sure everything is cooked to temperature. I still got a little things that are runny. Alright. Okay, my eggs look a little strange because I didn't get to, I had to take a break in cooking them. You know how that is. So I'm going to go ahead and serve these up. Alright, so actually the phone call I had to take, it was a customer service line in India. And you know, before the end of the call, you know, I told the lady, please be safe. And she actually started crying, which got me a little misty-eyed. But, you know, we need to pray for each other. Hopefully, everyone's been praying for each other, you know. All right, let me grab some cheese. So I got my cheese here. I would pour it out, like, again, I don't touch my cheese. And it actually lasts longer when you don't touch your cheese. Alright, so just a sprinkle. We don't need a lot of cheese. Alright, so we can serve it like that. So that's one way to serve it. Alright, so the next thing is the tortilla. Now I'm going to wrap this one in a tortilla. Go ahead and put my eggs on there. Alright, so I'm going to add a little bit of cheese on here. Now if you added like a couple pieces of potato on here, you could use a burrito size tortilla and either cut it in half and serve it to 2 people, or it's going to fill you up the whole day. So when I made one like that, it was so good. I ate both halves. I'm so ashamed. But I couldn't eat anything else the rest of the day. It had filled me up so much. Alright, so let's see. Hopefully I don't have too much in here. Alright. Oh, I'm scared I'm going to mess up. I'm going to lose my burrito wrapping card. Alright. Let me try something first. Alright, let me move some of this back. Over here. Okay. Alright, let me try it again. What is this? Of course you need to heat your burrito first so it is more pliable. I'm messing up. I used to work at McDonald's when they had burritos. I think it was like, I don't know if it was the first time they had it or if it was a reintroduction. This was like back in 98, 99. Yeah. Alright. I'm so bad at this anymore. I used to be good at wrapping burritos. I guess I'm just out of practice. Okay. Alright, y'all. It's still not right. I think I just have too much filling in here. Tuck it in. Tighten it up. For some reason I'm thinking about this episode of Seinfeld where they had these cigar wrappers wrapping burritos, and the burritos were wrapped too tight and exploding on people and burning people. You've seen that episode? Alright, so there we go. It's still unwrapping on me. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and heat this up anyway. And, well, brown it up on both sides. Alright, so there we go. We're browning it up. Yep. So, I'm just going to use the spatula I used on the eggs. Let me see. Skillet's pretty hot, so it didn't take long to brown it. I always like to kind of flatten mine, but then it undoes it at the edges here. Okay, but this was actually a fajita size tortilla and not a burrito. Actual burrito tortilla. But that's perfect size for breakfast for one. See how this side looks? Oh yeah, it's done already. Wow. Alrighty then. Oop. There we go. Does that look good or what? Alright, so this is an example of how you can vary your leftovers. You know, I'm going to go ahead and take a bite. So I'm going to have to tuck that little bit in. Of course it's good. And I was right on that call about adding salt. After I had the bacon and the cheese, I didn't really need salt. So, you know, that's our video for today. Make sure you stick around and watch some other playlists. You know, I have lots of playlists. You know, the main thing I want to do on this channel is to help people. And you can help me with this mission by subscribing and telling your friends to subscribe. I'm a little more than halfway. I have almost 560 subscribers at this point. So you can help me help others by simply subscribing, watching videos, liking videos, sharing videos. And again, as you can see by my videos from day one, my mission has been to help people. All right, thank you for stopping by. And you stay well and stay safe, everybody.